Hello guys, this is Aimee's Crew, welcome, and I am Julio Matipa.
And I'm Aimee Matipa.
So today we are here with a beautiful couple. You know, it's very important, it feels good especially when you've known people before they gave birth, when they were just, single, and today they are parents with two beautiful kids.
Married,
they did it in the right way,
Right.
So today, our discussion today, we're going to talk about the challenges we face as young parents. So today it's authentic because we're going to talk about the truth. It's what I go through. So that you can't challenge me with my experience.
Right.
So the same way you can't challenge Fred with his own experience. So
Right.
I'll let them introduce themselves.
All right, I guess I'm going to start. My name is Fred Sol. That's my beautiful wife over there on the left side. I call her my dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Ooh.
For some reason, it's the name that I just came up with.
Oh.
Nice.
But anyway, we came here today to support my brother and sister here.
Mm-hmm.
And like he said, we're going to be talking about challenges that we go through each day as parents, young parents, old parents. It's all the same, but it's challenges that make you grow
That's right.
and be yourself, and you'll be able to kind of just be who you are, find yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also gonna let my beautiful wife have a say.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Julio&Aimee aka Deborah. Yes, they have all introduced the subject already, and I'll pass it to Julio.
Okay, so today we're going to start with the subject. We're going to start with who's going to be the first one. So,
Why didn't you start?
I should start myself?
What are the challenges you've encountered as a young man? How old were you actually first? I don't know.
Okay.
You don't have to bring it up. But
So-
whenever the first born.
Okay, so if I talk about how old I was when I gave birth, then people will figure my age out. I'll try to keep it today off camera. So the challenge is I was very young when we gave birth, when my wife gave birth, which means we gave birth.
Right.
So I was very young, full of dreams, lots of things, that I was getting ready to achieve. But it happened, I became a parent. But there are so many different challenges. The first challenge that I found is I had to drop everything. I had to drop friends, and I had to make sure my life is in order. Like everything now started matter. Like who I hang with, who the person I spend time with. So all those things, they started, in somehow they bother you in the first time, Then, and I remember my son was just like, I think 3 days, and it was my young brother's birthday, and we had to go to the club to celebrate the birthday. I remember that day going to the club, feeling like a parent. I felt myself, I'm like, wow, it's like this place, I shouldn't be here anymore,
Wow,
because
interesting.
anything can happen,
Oh, yeah.
I felt the certain value of myself that, someone don't have to, and what's funny about that is when we are coming in the club, my young brother and the friend, they let them in and they ask for my ID. Remember I came to tell you, I'm like, because it's not that because they are looking older than me, it's just that they club too much that they know them.
They know, yeah.
So me, they're asking for my ID. I laughed before I took my wallet and I showed the guy. And I got in that club, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I belong here as a parent. So everything now, begin to matter.
Your self-worth.
Myself, like, I started feeling, so I get in the club, I'm feeling like, man, something has added,
Yeah,
on
your
me,
life,
in
yeah.
my life. So that's the first challenge. So we'll go
Wow.
with guys and,
Well, I actually want to add on what you said. Like during that time, it just reminded me of the feelings. So you say that you felt a self-worth, like a sense of self-worth.
Yes.
I felt like I kind of lost my freedom. I mean, Yes, because I'm like, I should have been there. You know, I really wanted to be there, but I couldn't. I have a newborn. I have to be there fully with my baby. It's not like, you know, I want to be there with my baby, like, but my feeling, because, you know, I'm a young girl, I feel like, you know, I should go out there and party and have fun. So I felt like I was dividing myself, and I just had to, so time as young parenting, so time, I got to understand what's more important. It got me to understand what's more important in life and focus with my energy there and adapt how I can manage how to have fun as a young parent.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, well, just to kind of add up on the topic there, I and my wife, the first time that I knew, or the first time that she told me that she was pregnant, was actually about 3 years back now. And I remember I was with a friend, and we were sitting actually in a bar, we were having a drink. And my wife texts me. She's really very good in text.
Wow.
Actually, she texted and I called after because I was like, Then I called her. She said, so she's like, yeah, honey, I just found out that I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay.
We are pregnant.
We are pregnant.
So it didn't shock me, but I was prepared because before that we were trying so much to have a kid. But again, it boils down to that mental state whereby, okay, I was in a club, I was drinking, all of a sudden that my mentality just
Kicks
popped
in.
out, kicked in, and it threw me off. I'm like, okay. So I went to the washroom and I did my thing, came out, and it still was kind of working through me. But I just took a deep breath, and I told myself, Fred, you can do it.
Right.
You're not going to become a father.
Wow.
So right then I knew that some things had to stop, and that is a big challenge for many parents. And what I can say is, for you to say no to something that you used to do over and over again, every weekend or every day, is hard. It can be just maybe taking a walk in the park,
Right.
not even to do with the kids or anything like that, but to say no to some friends, to say no to some habits, to say no to certain plans that you used to do every time because you were just you.
Right.
Now, when it comes to being a father or a mother, it's a totally different state, and it changes your perspective, and that's when you gotta realize that, okay, are you in for it or you're not?
Right.
For some parents, they could take it as, it's okay, I'll keep on doing what I have to do,
Right.
and keep going with my life. But as a real parent, I think that's the moment where you realize that, okay, life has to kind of take a kick.
Choices, yes.
Choices have to be different,
Right.
and you got to be able to think now that, okay, what kind of a father you're going to be, and how you're going to raise them. And this thing of saying that you're going to be ready, I don't think it exists. It's all about your mindset.
Yes.
Right.
It's all about how you perceive the fact that you're going to be a father or a mother or a parent. It could be, at any point in time when it happened. And so I challenge you guys to not to be prepared, because it's something that you cannot prepare for.
So instead you are telling them they should be ready to change some habits.
They should be ready to adapt to the change. That, okay, now I'm going to be a father. I'm not going to be just Fred or Deborah or Julio or Aimee anymore. No. You're going to be somebody responsible for somebody else.
Yes.
And that's what changes everything.
Oh, that's a good point.
Love that.
Tantin Deborah.
For me, challenges, I was really working my brain so hard to figure out what was the challenges, because for me it was more on a positive way than mostly a challenge.
Nice.
So like I can
So
say
you were ready.
I was ready.
I gotta do this.
I was ready, and even Fred can say it, because
I remember that.
when we used to party and like go out, I was like, we were going out, but as soon as I knew that I was pregnant, I was like, okay, no more going out, and that stopped. And some friends that I had, I can not really say friends, because if people you talk to a lot and suddenly they start like
Debating.
breaking loose from
Yes.
you, it means that they were not to be there for you. So the people you keep, the circle that you keep, those are friends.
Those are real.
So like now I got to understand who is in my circle and who is not in my circle.
Wow.
That's important.
So
yes.
then that was like positive because now I knew that okay, I can rely on this person, I cannot rely on that person.
Right.
And the challenge was maybe the pain.
Having
Because
Yes.
I was not expecting that and at that age, and the sleepless night that was hard because me, I loved sleeping. Everyone can tell you that because I remember I just finished school and then actually I was just after my practicum and I just got like a job and then I had to start. That's when I found out that I was pregnant. So then, okay, at least I could choose some shifts. I can say no. I can work in the evening and in the morning sleep in. But when you get pregnant, there is no sleeping in.
Right.
When the baby says it's time to wake up and eat, you have to wake up. So that
Right.
was actually my challenge.
Yes.
But I know every parent go through that challenge.
Right.
So talking about young age, I can say mostly the party time, and I know there is a certain time where you have to say no, there's no more party, and you have to grow up.
Right.
And the other thing was it made me more mature,
Yes.
more understanding,
Right.
like and more patient. I know I was patient before, but I became
A lot more
way
patient.
patient.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I get to understand like okay, this is like when they're crying, because I can give an example of my second baby. She was crying a lot at night and they call that colicky here.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know like back home it's normal for a baby to be
Okay.
crying at night.
Oh, okay.
So like here they call it colicky. So she was crying a lot, like from midnight to 7. I won't even I won't
really?
sleep.
Oh.
Yes, from midnight to 7 a.m. We will be up and we'll be like
Switching roles.
switching roles.
Wow.
So like that was kind of a challenge to me.
That was a big challenge.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that was a challenge. But other than that,
Just one
We'll
second.
get there.
bring as parents. I know like sometimes we have choices. You can choose to be what your parents taught you to be, or you can choose to be your own parent, like your own person. How you can
How you choose to educate your kids.
yeah, to educate the kids. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
finish.
like saying that, I know like for me as a young parent, I grew in different like house,
Environments,
like in different,
different
environments.
houses.
Yes, yeah. So like I tend to see like okay, my aunt was how my aunt was educating the other kids, and so it was different from home to home.
Okay.
So like when I became also a parent, there are some challenges I went through, and also like some stuff that I got to pick also from there that helped me also as a mother, and also like the support also matters. Like if you did not have parents or people around you who supported you, I think that also
Yes.
bring the challenge.
It
Yes.
does. It's a big
Yeah.
challenge.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah.
Yes. It,
So-
it may affect how you relate to your own kids.
To your own
How
kids.
you
Yeah.
choose to
Yeah.
relate to your own kids. Yes.
So,
So-
yeah, it's for me. I think it's also a choice. Like okay, if you choose to live the life you lived, or you choose to be the better version
Of what you
parent.
did.
Exactly.
Yes,
To
exactly.
your kids.
And what I was trying to say is there is this book. I would like us to, we're gonna take a picture of it. Men come from Mars
Women from Venice.
and women from Venice. That book, my wife and I, we started reading it.
Inspirational.
It's
yes.
inspirational. Couples, it's a book that couples they read together. You don't read it by yourself, and you ask your wife to read it by himself.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I
Yeah.
will give you today. You guys, we're gonna borrow you that book.
Borrowing.
We are borrowing you that book. Hopefully,
That's a treasure.
yes. So we're gonna give you only 1 month. So you
Yes.
read as much as you can, then we get it back,
Return it.
because
That's right.
I'm very sure you won't be able to, because you're busy parents. You won't be
Yes.
able to read it
Of
the
course.
whole book. So we're gonna give a month. That book has helped us. It shows how men think and how women think. That book is a famous author.
Yeah, he's from his
It's
foundation.
it's very known for that. It's a beautiful book. I encourage everyone to buy it.
That's true.
Yes, we were given that book until today. We were given that book in 2012. Till today, we have that book 9 years later, and it has helped us a lot.
Yes.
Yes, we have the main book of our marriage is the Bible. Then from the Bible, we have the
Yeah, we
that
have
book and
other
you know,
books that
and
we
other
read
book. So
often, yes.
so it's good to watch things that relates to you guys. You know.
That can affect you guys positive.
Yeah, because I know there are men who like sports and they are not in sports, especially.
Yeah.
You know, that's really not. I'm not saying people are in sports, friend. so try to watch like most of the show that my wife and I watch. We watch shows for husband, the wife and the husband. How they talk about each other, you know.
Yes.
So things that has to do with us. You know, we know we're gonna learn something, we're gonna get something from this. But you find some people from everything they watch does not relate to them. It's just opposite of what. It's not even in their project, not even in their dream.
Positive. Because
And
you don't learn
so you're not building yourself.
True, yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
me for now, I think.
Well, that's it for us today.
Fred, did you have anything to say?
No, you guys are taking over. So,
No, say something, Fred. Hey.
no, it was a good time. It was a good time that we got to do this
So,
first
yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
just from my side, I'll say, in all, I believe we're all Christians here. And to those viewers who are gonna view this, whether you're Christian or you're not Christian or you're whatever background that you are, I believe that you cannot do anything without God's help.
Yeah, man.
And in all of it, I'll advise you all to put God in the center of your
Your marriage.
or relationship, and
Family.
He will direct you. I'm not saying you will see everything work together perfectly, but at least you have a direction and you have that sort of help to be able to continue. Because in all that we spoke about here today, it is not easy. But again, it can be done,
Yes.
and it can be done right.
Yes.
It can be done better, especially when, like you said, we have family. You always want the best out of the person who's next to you,
Yes.
right? So they can motivate you. Surrounding yourself with, the best people who can motivate your mind to be able to think different, to be able to, so you can avoid the distraction
Yes.
and be able to focus on what is important. Not just family. It can be your career. It can be church. It can be anything else, right? Like you said. So I believe that's important, and as couples, I'd like to advise you to do that. But it's been interesting, and thanks.
That's
for
good.
Do
starting.
you have any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? Any final thought is fear the Lord and try to respect each other.
Yes.
Especially in the couples, there is nothing that is more than respect.
Yes.
I tell you, if you don't respect your husband, you don't respect your wife, you go nowhere. Because, respect, try to respect the person, especially